Jason Tigger, thank you very much. There is electricity in the air with a tourney bid on the line in Boston. Boston University looking to get in for the second straight year. Vermont has never played in a postseason tourney in 103 years of basketball. It's the Catamounts and the Terriers for the American East Championship Week, presented by 7-Up. Here's how these clubs got here. They are the top two seeds. BU seeded first, so it gets to host the final, beat crosstown rival Northeastern in the semis. Vermont was a winner over Hartford. As we take a look at our Star Watch bout.
On your left, Taylor Coppenrath, 6'9", 225, the player of the year in the league. And on your right, Rashad Bell, a very quick 6'8", face-up forward. They will be a terrific matchup.
Indeed, they should be. Vermont will be in the green. Boston University in the white as we're about ready to go from the Case Gym. And what should we be looking for here, Bob? Oh. Second day in a row. Come on. What? Yeah, I heard.
Should we go ahead and do the game?
Should we do the game? How severe are the audio problems? All right, opening tip controlled by Boston University. Billy Collins with it for the Terriers, and he gets it to Kevin Fitzgerald, who's going to run the point. BU content to pass it around the perimeter here. Fairly patient offensive team.
They are methodical, but Rashad Bell is the guy they like to go to. He doesn't like his back to the basket. Much more of a face-up style forward.
Shot clock under 5 as Fitzgerald misses. Tipped around, no. BU coming out of there with the rebound, though, and Buck puts it in.
BU wants to increase the tempo of the game. Vermont is a team that is very strong inside, the best rebounding team in this league, third best in the United States. So BU trying to get them out of sync early, make them use some time up to get the ball up the floor. Taylor Coppenrath, number 22, your main inside threat.
We are in Boston. Our audio difficulties have been solved. Dave Revson and Bob Wenzel with you. It's the America East Championship Game, Championship Week, presented by 7-Up, continuing here on ESPN. Vermont and Boston University. The Terriers, the number 1 seed. Vermont, the 2 seed. And the Terriers have an early 2-0 lead thanks to a field goal from Brian Buck.
A very methodical, lots of plays set up by Boston University. Rashad Bell, they like to get it to him. He is matched up with Taylor Coppenrath. Lots of use of time on the shot clock. It's at 8 now.
That is Bell, and cannot get the roll. It goes out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Catamounts as we take a look at our lineups. Taylor Coppenrath, the big gun for Vermont. Keep an eye on David Hehn. He's playing out of position at the point due to an injury to last season's Conference Player of the Year, TJ Sorrentine. For BU, aside from Bell, Billy Collins, the other guy to watch. Tops the Terriers in boards. Also set a school record last season for three-point percentage.
Well, this is a little bit of a contrast right here. Vermont wants to pound it inside, like right here to Sheftic at 280 pounds and crash the boards, which is their best thing. They are a very big team for a mid-major.
As we take a look at our coaches.
Tom Brennan wearing his brand new Armani suit that his brother bought for him. He told us about that. Long-term coach here in his 17th year. This is one of his best teams during that time. And of course, Dennis Wolf, formerly at the University of Virginia in his 9th season. They were in the NCAAs last year and lost to Cincinnati in the first round.
Beat Maine in this building to get there last year. This is Jermaine Gila at the line, and he hits the first one, and the Catamounts are on the board. That foul was on Billy Collins, his first.
Gila, a guy who does not shoot frequently, but does shoot accurately. In his last 7 games, he's shot 71% from the field.
Gila hits them both, and we've got ourselves a tie game early on.
Full court pressure on the part of the Catamounts early also. Both teams trying a 1-2-1-1 trap style press in the backcourt.
BU no problems breaking it, and Fitzgerald going to set up the offense. A guy who doesn't do a lot statistically, but really sets the tempo for this team. Now Seymour. Tipped around, and Bell was standing out of bounds. So the ball will go to Vermont as we take a look at the Star Watch.
Taylor Copper.
Conference Player of the Year, as we said, was TJ Sorrentine, but he is out for the year for the Catamounts as Anderson misses. And we've got a foul on the rebound, so Coppenrath is doing some damage down low as he gets that board.
Well, he is a big guy, 6'9", 225. He has some quickness on the perimeter. There will be no shooting on this foul.
Follows on Rashad Bell. They get it inside to Sheftic, and they turn it over. One of the things Dennis Wolf talked about is keeping Sheftic away from the basket. He can do a lot less damage there. He's about 12 or 13 feet away there, and he did damage just to his own team.
He is 280, I'll tell you what. He is a big guy inside. These teams have played twice. They have split their games. A win by 3, a loss by 7 for Boston University, and this is what they want. The quickness of Rashad Bell versus the strength of Coppenrath.
Bell misses. BU now 1 of 6 from the field, and the foul against the Terriers, so Vermont's going to have it.
Well, Ryan Butt, the big man for Boston University inside, weighs about 260 himself, so we're going to see some big size guys around the goal today.
That's Coppenrath missing. Now BU coming the other way, and Bell going to slow things up.
They are methodical on offense. They pass the ball a lot. He changes sides frequently. They want the ball in Rashad Bell's hands where he can face up.
Now the steal by Gila ahead of the pack, and he lays it in. So the Catamounts, their first lead at 4-2, all 4 points for Jermaine Gila.
Vermont brought about 800 people to this game, so they've got plenty of people cheering them on here. They won 20 games last year as well. This is 2 years in a row they've been hitting that milestone. As you mentioned, never been to the NCAA or the NIT for that matter.
Should have been to the NIT last year. That was a travesty, but that's another story. But misses. Neither team shooting well, as you saw, as Vermont tries to build on the 4-2 lead. 5 straight misses for the Terriers. Coppenrath. Grant Anderson, great passer for a big guy, but that time he threw it away.
Very unusual. Anderson leads his team in rebounding and assists.
It's an odd combination, to say the least.
Indeed.
On the drive, Seymour gets fouled by Gila. We are taking a timeout. Vermont on top 4 too early. Jermaine Gila doing all of the damage. He has 4. The Catamounts up by 2. Nice look at Faneuil Hall, one of the many great historic sites here in Boston. Vermont on top of BU 4-2. Championship week presented by 7-Up. Dave Revson and Bob Wenzel with you. And Bob, the inside game could tell a lot of the story here today.
Vermont wants to go inside. BU is a team that goes inside, but they do it with lots of different players. BU much deeper than Vermont. Vermont stronger on the boards.
That is something to keep an eye on. Vermont does not have a lot of depth. As we told you, TJ Sorrentine out for the year, and this is a school that only has 10.5 scholarships to give for basketball. Remember, the maximum is 13, so their hands are tied from really the get-go. This is Chaz Carr into the game for the Terriers.
He ignites them offensively off the bench. He's a guy who is not afraid to let it fly.
Either this guy, Billy Collins, set a school record for three-point percentage last year, but he misses that one. So the Terriers now 1 for 8 from the field.
Collins is 43% from three-point range, and oddly enough, only 52% from the foul line. Both teams playing solid defense so far. They are physical teams, not overly quick, but solid fundamentally, both squads.
Gila having a great start. He has all 7 for the Catamounts.
I mentioned he's shooting 71% in his last 7 games, and he's not disappointing in this one. Normally averages only 6 points a game, so he's past that point.
It's a 7-0 run now for Vermont. Jason Grochowalski also in the game. He's number 24 for the Terriers. And Kevin Gardner, a freshman, 31, is in there as well. So a lot of substitutions from Dennis Wolf early, trying to take advantage of the depth.
BU's execution is their main thing, but so far, Vermont has played defense throughout the 35 seconds. And that's why they're in the position they are in now.
That miss from Fitzgerald came with 3 on the shot clock. Now the three-pointer on the way, and good by Grant Anderson.
He is a great story. Anderson was a quarterback in high school. Minnetonka, Minnesota, played with Adam Boone, who went to North Carolina and has transferred back. The Catamounts happy with their start here on a foreign court.
That was a highly ranked team. They also had Shane Schilling, who was a great player who started at Minnesota, has since transferred from there. BU now scoreless in the last 5 minutes. Trying to change that is Grochowalski, but he gets called for the walk.
To start on a foreign court early and knock in your perimeter shots is exactly the thing you want to do in a championship game. Jermaine Gila does it there, and Anderson from the left wing. Both guys very comfortable. BU trying to pick up the pressure right here to get some turnovers. Vermont, not a team that has a point guard, but Anderson as a forward handling it in the backcourt.
They take advantage of the 2-on-1. Gila misses, but Coppenrath is there. First 2 for Taylor Coppenrath.
So far, BU slowing itself down. They've moved the ball well, but they have not taken advantage of any opportunities yet. Chaz can put the ball on the floor, and he's not shy.
Carr misses that one. Hehn looks to run it for Vermont, but now they slow things up. Scotty Jones is in there for the Catamounts. He wears 43. The pull-up is good by Grant Anderson, so 5 quick points for him. And the Catamounts on a 14-0 run have a 14-2 lead here in Boston. Well, don't forget, later today, Championship Week presented by 7-Up continues. 2 more championship games on ESPN, 6 Eastern, the 8-10, crowning its champ Temple against Dayton at 8 Eastern. You can catch the Conagra Foods Big East Championship, UConn and Pittsburgh for the 2nd straight year. Championship Week presented by 7-Up on ESPN and ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. I'll tell you what, Bob, you look at Temple, that is a team that could cause a lot of problems for the at-large hopefuls as we look at Grant Anderson here.
Well, Grant Anderson made a 3 on the last possession and a nice pull-up jumper from this side. He is a senior, and seniors tend to dominate at this level of basketball. A good leader. As I mentioned, a football quarterback in high school. They love this guy. 3rd team all-conference this year.
Matt Turner has checked in for Boston University. He's 34, very explosive scorer. That's something they could use right now.
Well, Chaz Carr, a guy who fits into that area as well. Bell is the guy they need to get the basketball. He's only had 2 touches and been crowded both times.
Once again, they shoot with less than 5 on the shot clock. They miss it. Hehn gets the rebound.
And that was a big rebound. You talk about them not having a point guard. Hehn is 6'5", and he acts as their point guard and does a very good job of it. Once they get to this end, everybody handles the ball. They are not a team that breaks you down with the dribble, so they don't need that point guard. They're a passing kind of team.
Coppenrath draws the foul. You saw the shooting numbers, and they're just abysmal for Boston University. 1 of 11 from the field, and this is a team that came in shooting a fairly respectable 43%. Ryan Butt picks up the foul. That's number 2 on him.
Well, Coppenrath going to the line. Dennis Wolf not panicking so far in this game. It is early, but Coppenrath, take a look at his numbers. Leader in the league in points scored, very good from the field, rebounds it adequately, and he has good quickness. Only a sophomore, second year in a row, a Vermont player has won the Player of the Year award. Last year it was T.J. Sorrentine, who you referred to as their point guard, and this year Coppenrath.
Great development out of Coppenrath. This is a guy who was on the JV team as a high school sophomore in Vermont. And now look at him.
I'll tell you what, he runs well for a guy his size also. An unaffected player by his great accolades this year. Quiet and modest.
What Tom Brennan said about him, he has no answers, he only has questions. And that's what a coach loves to see in a player. Now some nice interior passing, and the Terriers will get to the free throw stripe in the person of Jason Grochowalski.
Well, interestingly enough, Vermont lost 6 games early in the year, lots of away games, and of course they stayed together. And Tom Brennan told me that at that point, you normally get some bickering and so forth. He loves this team, he likes their character. Grochowalski, who's pretty good quickness for a guy his size. They lost 3 games in Hawaii, Dave, and Tom Brennan was quoted as saying, if you have to lose 3, they might as well be in paradise.
Well, he is a very entertaining guy, and we will get to that throughout the broadcast, tell you a little bit more about him as they hit 1 of 2 right there. Grochowalski does, ending a 16-0 run by the Catamounts.
Here, Hehn handling the basketball at 6'5", doing a very solid job at the point guard position. Teams have not been able to take advantage of Sorrentine's absence.
Offensive foul. Looks like it's going to go against Coppenrath, pushing on.
Indeed it is. Coppenrath and Bell, the featured matchup in this one, going after one another.
So 2 fouls for Taylor Coppenrath, about the only thing that's gone wrong for Vermont as they are up big here in Boston. Thanks. I'll just set it up, and then we can talk about it a little more afterwards.
Tom, you think he got the bid?
I don't know, but I bet it was a little earlier than me because I ain't been there yet.
I hate doing this, man. I do.
You don't play for 4 days,
bad.
5 days.
I feel so bad.
It's a big deal.
He's waking up. He's looking at the clock going, frickin' Brennan.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Cool.
I love that.
Yeah, I was going to get Bob on
that.
Oh, that's a shame. I was all set to get Bob on that. Oh, no. Oh, no. And I had trivia for him, and you got my trivia. Okay, what are we coming out with, though? We're going right to the radio thing. Yeah. Okay. I got to set it up, obviously, right? Okay. Yep. Back in Boston, Vermont up big. Catamounts coach Tom Brennan, not just a coach, also hosts a radio show, Corm and the Coach, with co-host Steve Cormier. Here's a little segment from earlier this week.
Tom, you think he got the bid?
I don't know, but I bet it was a little earlier than me because I ain't been there yet.
I hate doing this, man. I do.
You don't play for
so
4 days,
bad.
5
I feel
days.
so bad.
It's a big deal.
He's waking up. He's looking at the clock going, frickin' Brennan.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Oh.
Hey, we beat Hartford. Did you win? Corbin, the coach, live.
How about he drove all the way home, Dennis? He's been badgering me for an hour to call you. I apologize.
I need tickets,
Carl,
too.
is there an FCC rule about being drunk on the air?
I need tickets.
You know what? He's sober.
I need tickets.
Can
you help me out?
That's why I'm calling. He's sober.
Brennan giving the wake-up call to Dennis Wolf earlier this week, a show that consistently beats Imus and Howard Stern in the ratings. Brennan equates that to beating Kentucky at Rupp. He's not just the sports guy, he is the host.
Well, oddly enough, you mentioned Imus and Howard Stern. Remember Howard Stern went to school?
I think you do.
Boston University.
How about that? You always bring it full circle. Well, right now they could use some offense. They have a guy who's offensive as an alarm. No, they do get the tip in.
Well, when your offense is not going well, you want to crash the boards, and Bell and Collins can do that. They are the best offensive rebounders on this team. BU trying to pick up their pressure after the timeout to create some turnovers, but Vermont has handled things well. Nice pump fake by Sheftic.
So Sheftic gets his first two. That tip in on the other end went to Billy Collins, by the way, so those were the first two for him. So Vermont answers the 2 points that BU got, and it's 18-5.
Sheftic was 10 for 10 from the field in the first game against Albany in the tournament.
This is Bell working on Scotty Jones. Not going to go. Grochowalski fights for the board, but a great job by Hehn, and Vermont coming the other way. They're going to run at Anderson.
Anderson a point forward.
Sheftic can't get the roll. Collins gets it off the tip from Bell. Now Chaz Carr in transition. Turner. Got it!
Turner and Carr are guys that come in off the bench for their offense. Chaz had his trouble, but Turner knocks one in. He takes the most threes on the team, and he is a sub.
Jones has it knocked away. Collins has Turner. Now one-on-one with Hehn. And Wisely backs it out, now takes the three. That one well short.
Challenged well by Hehn. He's 6'5" and has long arms. He's going to get pressure all game, however. Best thing BU can do is pressure the point guard. Try to take Vermont out of their offense, make him start it higher, which is what's happening right now.
Chaz Carr really harassing him there. Again, Hehn playing in place of the injured TJ Sorrentine. Tom Brennan said it's like having a tackle playing quarterback. Now off the miss by Anderson, we've got a foul on the Catamounts.
Well, Matt Turner needs to ignite off the bench. He's a microwave kind of player. He comes in right here. He is challenged well and makes it anyway. Only 28% from the field from three-point range is Turner, but he takes the most threes and he is confident. Big game against Florida State. You can see his numbers. Against Florida State, when they beat the Seminoles, he had 18 points in 12 minutes.
That's the team that beat Florida State, played Stanford very, very close in the preseason NIT at Maples Pavilion, and played Arizona very well at Arizona as well. So this is a very capable Boston University team. That foul on the other end was on Scotty Jones, number 2 for him.
Also played against Boston College. Of course, Vermont played North Carolina.
Three on the way, and good by Paul Seymour. First 3 points for him.
Seymour is a 1,000-point scorer in his career, a senior here. Nothing better for seniors to show up on a day like today.
Part of a 9-2 run now for Boston University, so they have made a run here at Vermont after the Catamounts got off to the great start.
I think what's happened is their energy defensively has enlivened them on the offensive end. Sheftic with a nice move.
4 points now for Sheftic. As you mentioned, a very big body, 6'8", 260 pounds.
Sheftic is an ROTC guy, Army airborne. Did some training at Fort Benning, Georgia. If he's protecting us, I like that.
Turner penetrating and kicking, and goes off the hands of Seymour. It will go to the Catamounts. Don't forget, a full day of college basketball continues on ESPN and ESPN2 later today. You can see semifinal action for the ACC tournament on ESPN following us, 1:30 Eastern, NC State and Wake Forest. And on ESPN2 at 2 Eastern, semifinal from the Phillips 66 Big 12 tournament. Kansas and Mizzou, Texas Tech and Oklahoma, the other semi in that one. Championship week presented by 7-Up on ESPN and ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. As the Catamounts have called the timeout here, it gives us a little chance to talk about the ACC and the impact that Josh Howard has had.
He is a great player. Player of the year, leads the league in scoring, and there some terrific numbers for Josh Howard, and he has led Wake all season long. First time they've won the ACC in a long time. Vermont is a team that does not normally shoot well from three-point range, but today really doing a terrific job in that particular area. Right here, Gila hits one early. Anderson hits one from the left wing as well. And you notice this is all with assists. Penetrate and dish. Anderson from closer range. Good outside shooting for a team that is inside oriented.
So shooting well and also rebounding extremely well, which is something that they do a lot. 14-7 advantage on the boards for Vermont.
Well, they have good balance. When they shoot well from the perimeter, it's going to be tough. Right now, remember, the player of the year is sitting on the bench with 2 fouls, Taylor Coppenrath. Sheftic has stepped up big time in his absence.
He misses that one. Scotty Jones battling for the rebound. It's going to go to the Catamounts. And we've got a timeout here in Boston. Vermont up by 9 with Taylor Coppenrath on the bench over Boston University. We're coming right back. All right, thanks a lot, Reese and Digger. Here it is 20-11. The Catamounts up big on Boston University. Vermont the 2 seed, BU the 1 seed.
Taylor Coppenrath, the player of the year, on the bench right now.
Championship week presented by 7-Up. It's the America East Championship game. Dave Revson and Bob Wenzel with you.
Foul trouble can be an important thing, and right now BU, first time they're going zone. Vermont not known for its outside shooting. Gila has made one, and he is their chief architect from there.
He misses that one. And Bell comes out of there with a rebound for BU. Terriers trying to cut into this 9-point deficit.
Bell really not looking to score right now. They're trying to get some transition offense right here. Bell needs to start looking for his shot a little bit more. He's their leading scorer. He's not had a lot of touches, and they are struggling without him. 4 for 17 from the field.
Grochowalski tries to create.
There is Taylor Coppenrath, player of the year as a sophomore in this league. 6'9", 225. Fabulous year, averaged almost 21 points a game.
He's had to carry a lot of the load with Sorrentine out. This is Seymour. 5 points now for Paul Seymour, so he's starting to come to life.
Well, Dennis Wolf would like to see more of Seymour. He's making his shots, no one else is.
Again, the pressure from BU.
Ineffective so far in this game. Vermont handling it very, very well.
Sheftic on the blocks. Does not get the roll. Anderson fights for the board. It goes out of bounds. Off Fitzgerald. It's going to stay with the Catamounts. Tom Brennan bringing David Hehn back into the game as Andre Anderson sits down. Right into Sheftic. He is double teamed. Now look at the baseline. Gila.
Coming into his own is Gila, the guy who can put the ball on the floor and create his own shot. The only one of the Vermont players who does that. Playing very well within their team concept.
9 points, 3 above his season average, and just 4 shy of his career high. Out of the corner, Grochowalski can't get it to go. Anderson battles for the board.
Anderson tapped that ball to himself because he couldn't get it. Hehn also in on that, a team rebound.
Sheftic going to try from 15.
He is big and he is strong and he has good foot movement as well. And his fans love it.
Well, Dennis Wolf told me they were going to leave him open on the high post.
Well, they better reconsider that situation because that strategy is not going to work. This guy's played great in the tournament so far, shooting 70% in the first 2 games.
Vermont shooting 47%, just 26% for the Terriers. Bell, they got to get him going. And he gets the nice roll.
He is a face-up guy. 6'8", long, lean, can move quickly. I think Sheftic will have a hard time guarding him away from the basket.
First 2 for the Terriers, leading score. Now they try the alley-oop, and Scotty Jones throws it down.
Some hops from the Mountain State. They are doing this without the player of the year, Taylor Coppenrath, on the floor. And this season, they had TJ Sorrentine, who was the player of the year last year. And they're playing great without him as well.
103 years of basketball, never been to the tournament. Chaz Carr hits it, gets fouled. He's going to go to the line looking for a 4-point play.
Scotty Jones runs to the basket, nobody close. Good timing and a great pass by Gila. And this is a different angle from upstairs. That is some hops by Scotty Jones. And of course, an answer at the other end by Chaz Carr knocks it in. Chaz had 15 and 13 in the first 2 games of this event. Looking to give a boost to his squad.
So 4 quick points for Chaz Carr. Was a great player for them last year. Has been erratic this season. And now the pressure creates the turnover. Fitzgerald, alley-oop, Bell having trouble coming out of there with it, and Anderson gets the steal for Vermont.
Well, Sullivan with the ball threw that one away. He's a shooter, spot-up guy.
Sheftic again.
Dominant inside. They cannot handle him. He's strong and he's got moves. When you start looking at this Vermont team and thinking about them playing in the tournament, Sheftic is a guy who can play like that. He can battle most big guys in the country in terms of strength.
Vermont a 14-6 advantage in points in the paint as Chaz Carr misses the pull-up.
You can see why they are a great rebounding team. 3rd in the country in rebound margin at almost 8 per game. All 5 guys go to the defensive board.
Sheftic again. This time he misses one. Kevin Fitzgerald and the Terriers want to run. Fitzgerald leaves it short. And Sheftic gets the board.
You're saying his name an awful lot. Not been out of the game. No fatigue yet either.
On the blocks, Jones stepped on the baseline.
That is not knowing where you are. Jones, a substitute, needs to learn where he is with his back to the hoop. BU in trouble, and Tom Brennan's team really playing well.
One of the few mistakes that Vermont has made, because they are looking very good early on. Their first ever tourney bid. What they're playing for, and we'll head back to Boston in just a moment. As you said, Reese, UAB could cause a lot of problems and a lot of headaches for some teams hoping for at-large bids. Right now, it's BU that has a splitting headache thanks to the inside play from Vermont.
They are dominant inside. Sheftic has 8 points already in there. They cannot handle his size and bulk and moves inside. And at this end, Turner and Chaz Carr not ready to ignite yet. This is the guy that has to get going, Bell.
Just 2 points so far for Bell. That one gets knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with BU. A 19-9 rebounding edge so far for Vermont. Want to remind you that tomorrow Sacramento hosts Dallas in a showdown between the two top teams in the NBA on ABC. Coverage begins at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Billy Collins misses the three-pointer, and Sheftic comes out of there with the rebounds. It's one and done for the Terriers.
The value of good defensive rebounding showing itself in this game. No multiple shots on the part of BU.
Scotty Jones leaves it short, but they're going to send him to the line. Again, it's the America East Conference Championship game, and this is a league that certainly has provided the NBA with some good players.
Most recently, Speedy Claxton, Malik Rose, a fixture for the San Antonio Spurs. Rick Carlisle here and then at Virginia, and of course Vin Baker from Hartford, a full-time All-Star. So lots of good players have played in this league.
Now Drexel and Hofstra no longer in the league as Jones misses the first free throw. That foul went on Kevin Gardner, freshman for the Terriers.
Scotty Jones gets most of his shots close to the basket.
This is both of those, but again we see the dominance on the boards They fight for it. Collins on the floor. It's going to be a held ball. It's going to go to the Catamounts.
Well, trailing by 9 right now, BU must show hustle, and they're beginning to do a lot of diving on the floor, make it a scrappy game. Hehn, the tall point guard. Dennis Wolf, of course, was to the NCAA tournament last year with the Boston University Terriers and lost to Cincinnati in the first round.
Well, coming up on the 7-Up halftime report, we'll check in with Reese Bigger in the studio. USC continues to upset, and who might be the bid Steelers? They were talking about UAB as a potential team that could do that. Temple, a lot of teams that could throw this thing very much up in the air. So the teams that are on the bubble watching those games very closely.
Well, what happens in the big conferences, if we can call them that, the middle teams have great incentive. The teams that are at the top of their conference, less incentive. So you see the Texas Tech, you see a lot of upsets. Arizona being beaten early, Stanford being beaten early. It's happening all over the country.
Hehn trying to move on Chaz Carr, nowhere to go.
Vermont judicious with what shots they take.
Corey Sullivan's a great shooter, but he
not a good passer.
Yes.
He's thrown the ball away twice, had 13 in the first 2 games in this tournament as a shooter.
Turner through the lane, draws the foul. Got a full day of college basketball continuing on ESPN and ESPN2. Later today, catch semifinal action for the ACC tournament. This follows us on ESPN, NC State and Wake. And on ESPN2, 2 Eastern semifinal action from the Phillips 66 Big 12 tourney begins with Mizzou and Kansas Championship Week, presented by 7-Up on ESPN and ESPN2 as Turner misses the free throw, something BU can ill afford.
Well, Dennis Wolf has tried a lot of different things in this game. He's tried full court pressure, he's tried zone, he's tried his standard man-to-man defense. Defense is not as big a problem for them as the other end of the floor right now. Turner only with 3 so far in this game, averages 9. He is a guy who comes in off the bench and is supposed to ignite them. He sometimes is feast and famine, so they need for him to feast because they are down.
Down by 8 as he hits 1 of 2.
This is your small forward bringing the ball up the floor. Grant Anderson's showing his versatility. They'd rather have him bring it up against his guy than Hehn against the point guard.
Sheftic.
That is strength, my friend. Against anybody. 6'8", 260. This young man is very, very impressive inside.
Now in double figures with 10 points. On the drive, they leave it for Bell. That foul's going to go against Grant Anderson.
Watch this touch right here. He gets surrounded by 3 guys. He makes nice ball fakes, uses the glass to soften his shot. This guy is an accomplished player.
Well, Sheftic sat out last year due to a real family tragedy. His younger sister, Lauren, was stricken with a brain aneurysm in January of 2001. She passed away in December. He says she was his inspiration to return to the team. Obviously, you can only imagine going through something like that. Just a terrible experience, but he really has had a great year coming back, and Tom Brennan says he has nothing but respect for Sheftic. Bell missed them both. Grochowalski misses the tip in, and BU now just 3 of 7 from the line. And this is a team that leads the league in free throw shooting, so nothing going well for the Terriers. They're going to call a kick on Billy Collins.
Well, Dennis Wolf upset about the call. He's at home, expecting to win this game as the first seed. But so far, Vermont really responding to the challenge.
It's Jack Phelan in the game for Vermont, was number 12.
His dad was the coach of Hartford for 11 years. Also Jack Phelan, no longer the coach there. And of course, he playing here for Tom Brennan, one of Phelan's good friends in the coaching business.
Brendan's got a lot of friends in the coaching business. He is a gregarious guy. He is a lot of fun to talk to.
Leads the NCAA in words per minute.
Done a great job with this Vermont team. The travel Vermont, Scotty Jones.
Well, Scotty's been caught twice along the baseline. Brennan upset about it because there's 2 turnovers when they have the game in hand right now in terms of the kind of lead they need. Jones averages 7 and 5 during the course of the season.
They won just 14 times in his first 3-4 years. They've won 52 times in the last 3 years. Brennan doing a remarkable job at Vermont, again with one hand tied behind his back due to the scholarship limitations. Now Collins, 5-second differential. Turner, good interior passing, but Grochowalski can't finish. And now Bell going to get another chance at the free throw line.
Well, BU's doing a good job of getting the ball to the basket, not with the pass, but with the dribble. And as a result, they're getting some inside shots and being fouled. Rashad Bell going to the line, 80% for the year from the free throw stripe. And normally, free throw shooting a great strength of the Terriers, but not so today.
Bell 0 of 2 from the line so far today. A guy who comes in shooting 80%. That foul went against Sheftic, number 1 for him. And Bell hits the first. Just 3 points, though, for the guy we highlighted off the top. He's their leading scorer, averaging 12 per game, a first-team all-conference pick. One of the many guys they need to step it up here in the second half.
Well, he also averages almost 16 a game in conference play. Got off to a slow start during the course of the season and has played great in the last 15 games.
They have trailed by as many as 14, have battled back with that one to make it an 8-point game. They trailed by 14 in the semi against Northeastern and came back to win, so by no means is this one over.
Oh, no question about that. I mean, they're going to go full court pressure. They're going to try to make this a many possession game. The question is, will Vermont wear down? So far, they've shown no signs of it.
5 seconds now. Hehn off balance, does not go. And that is going to do it for a very good first half for the Vermont Catamounts, thanks in large part to Matt Sheftic. 10 points, 5 of 10 from the field, asserting some of that interior dominance for the Catamounts, who lead it by 8 in search of their first ever postseason bid. Let's send it now to Reese Davis and Digger Phelps, the 7-Up halftime report. Guys.
At halftime, the University of Vermont Catamounts 30, the Boston University Terriers 22. Fans, the American East Women's Basketball Championship is this afternoon at 4 o'clock in Hartford, when Maine plays your Boston University Terriers. There is still time to make it to the game in Hartford, or you may watch it live on Nesson, or you can listen online to WTVU at WTVUradio.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the court. We have 2 contestants, Dan and Dan, who will both take part in the Choice Hotel's half-court shot promotion. Here's how it works. Each contestant will receive 1 practice shot before they attempt a half-court shot that could win them a $200 Choice Hotels International cash value coupon. All right, Dan number 1, let's see your practice shot. $200 International cash value
You're watching the America East Championship between the Vermont Catamounts and the Boston University Terriers with an NCAA bid on the line. Due to time constraints now, we're going to move ahead in our action. You're watching the America East Championship between the Vermont Catamounts and the Boston University Terriers, an NCAA berth on the line in Boston. Don't forget Bracketology 101. We'll break down the brackets 7 o'clock Sunday on ESPN. It's the men's tourney selection special presented by Staples. We'll return to Boston after these messages. Welcome back to halftime. It's the America East Championship between the Vermont Catamounts and the Boston University Terriers. Don't forget, one of these teams is headed to the NCAA tournament. You can see the entire field of 65 and break it down. It's Bracketology 101, the NCAA men's selection special presented by Staples. Comes your way Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 Pacific on ESPN. We'll be back to Boston with the second half after these messages. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are back. Dave Revs and Bob Wenzel. Vermont just 8 points up on Boston University, looking for its first ever tournament bid. They are 20 minutes away from that. Dave Revson and Bob Wenzel back with you. The America East Championship game. We talked off the top, Bob, that the inside game would tell the story, and it has in the first half.
No question about that. Sheftic has 10 points. That's his average for the season. Also, Taylor Coppenrath, the other big guy, the player of the year in the conference, only played 9 minutes in the first half on the bench with foul trouble. So things looking very, very good for Vermont. BU has to increase the tempo of the play with their defense to get back in it.
Let's take a look at the BMW halftime stats, which tell a lot of that story.
Well, there's no question about that. Field goal percentage is the main thing right here. 50-27. That is going to get you ahead and winning games. There's no doubt about it. In the rebound situation, obviously very much in favor of Vermont. Sheftic doing a great job. Coppenrath will be coming back into the game and likely will play the whole second half.
Take a look at the star watch here. You talked about Coppenrath. Neither one of them making a real impact.
No, neither one. Really, the star of the game is Sheftic. Bell did play a great deal, but didn't get a lot of touches. Neither doing what you would think a star play would do in these kinds of circumstances.
So 20 minutes to go as Vermont looks to get in for the first time ever. BU looks to get to the tourney for the second straight year. An 8-point lead for the Catamounts as we start the second half. This is Bell going right at Coppenrath as it blocked from behind by Hehn. And Vermont comes out of there with it.
Dave, that tells you exactly what Dennis Wolf wants to do. He wants to isolate Bell face up on Coppenrath. He thinks that's where he has an advantage.
Try to get that third foul on Coppenrath. Vermont going to Sheftic. No big surprise there. The surprise is that he missed. Anderson the rebound.
Ryan Butt, the guy who defends Sheftic right now, had 2 fouls, only played 6 minutes. And he is the biggest and bulkiest of the Terriers.
First 2 points for the Canadian, David Hehn.
Hehn made a 3 the last time these two teams played at Vermont late in the game to seal the victory. Plays within himself. Nothing spectacular, but gets it done.
This is Billy Collins. Quiet first half for him as well. Bell through the lane, Fitzgerald. They get the open 3 and nail it. Paul Seymour.
He is their best perimeter shooter and most experienced guy from deep. He made one of those in the first half as well.
Vermont's little numbers on the other end. Gila misses. And Sheftic's going to the stripe. Again, rebounding, telling the story, Bob.
Third best rebounding team in the country are the Vermont Catamounts. Tom Brennan sending his guys strong to the offensive boards. Only 58% from this particular spot on the floor for Sheftic.
And that probably tells you why. Grochowalski checking in for BU.
So far, he's played half the game and has produced what he normally does in an entire 40 minutes.
4 rebounds to go along with that as he hits the second free throw.
BU has nobody on their team that I've seen that can really put the ball on the floor and create their own shot. They are a team that runs a lot of sets. They rely on their execution. That only got them 27% in the first half.
Collins misses badly. Sheftic comes out of there with it. They did seem to get a bit of a spark, though, when Turner and Chaz Carr came in.
Well, they start with the more defensive-minded guys and come in with the more offensive-minded guys. And both Turner and Carr are capable of getting things going. I suspect that Dennis Wolf will use them a great deal in the second half. You want physical play? You got it in this game. Lots of aggressive play on both ends of the floor in the paint.
Grochowalski, the guy who gets called for the foul. Now Coppenrath definitely has the range from 3. Hehn, not there. Another offensive board, though, for the Catamounts.
Anderson really has a knack, doesn't he? Long arm players, pretty good hops, nose for the basketball.
This is a good front line, Bob. You made the point earlier. Now the steal. Collins coming out of there with it for BU.
What Vermont has to be careful of, Dave, is trying to go to Coppenrath too much. They played very well without him in the first half. They've got to just stay in their stuff. And that's the guy with Seymour who's taking care of business.
11 now for Paul Seymour as he hits his second straight 3-ball. And all of a sudden we've got a 5-point ball game.
And Seymour is getting it off screens. Doesn't create it on his own. The execution of screening and the passer as well, important.
Coppenrath. Buck comes out of there with it. They're starting to make some noise here in Boston. Seymour again! Not there. And Collins gets the board.
Long shots, long rebounds. Good hustle by Collins. The transfer from Rutgers.
A butt. It's double teamed and throws it away. Gila. And then they get Seymour for the foul. Just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Number 1 on him. You talked about Billy Collins making that transfer from Rutgers. Originally committed to BC, then when Jim O'Brien left, he signed with Rutgers.
Good screening away from the basketball frees up Seymour. Gila late, and as a result, the shooters roll.
We talked about Chaz Carr. He is back in the game wearing number 22 for the Terriers. Now Hehn trying to create on his own, and he draws the foul.
Size advantage on the part of Hehn on that particular play. Chaz only about 6 feet tall. Hehn 6'5". Chaz trying to pressure him so when they're away from the basket, Carr has the advantage. As they get closer to the basket, Hehn has the advantage.
Well, that is kind of the flip side of playing without Sorrentine, and obviously he's a great player, and there aren't a whole lot of positives of not having him out there as Matt Turner checks back in. But they do get size mismatches at the point that Hehn was trying to take advantage of it right there and drew the foul on Carr.
I'll tell you what, though, without Sorrentine, you know, people talk about they're a changed team, and they are. But let me tell you something. If you're a coach, you would like to have that guy. 2 guys who can really run the floor. He and Coppenrath, players of the year. They'd be better with him, believe me.
Oh, no question. I certainly in no way was trying to make the point that they wouldn't be. Foul right there goes on Jermaine Gila. That's going to be number 3 on Gila. We'll keep an eye on that. You talked earlier about Coppenrath. As we see Corey Sullivan come in for Vermont. The player of the year as a sophomore, and Sorrentine, the player of the year as a sophomore last year. It is believed to be the only time that has ever happened in NCAA history that the same school has had 2 conference players of the year as sophomores in consecutive seasons. Seymour, and 1!
Step it up big time!
The senior providing some leadership where they need it most.
This one off the dribble. Over a 6'7" good defender, Grant Anderson. Seymour carrying the Terriers on his back right now.
8 second-half points for Seymour, 13 in the ball game. Make it 14.
He is a 1,000-point scorer in his career here at BU. Not forgotten. Has played less of a role recently, but coming up big today.
This is the closest the Terriers have been since this was a 4-2 ball game. They're within 3.
No double team because Coppenrath is on the perimeter.
Sheftic missing that one. Chaz Carr and the Terriers put tied with a 3. Seymour wants 2 and gets him. 16 for Seymour, 11 in the second half, and the Terriers are within 1.
Home court advantage. Let's see if Vermont maintains poise.
Sheftic tied up. And they're going to call a jump ball, looks like.
No, I believe we got a foul.
Oh, they did call the foul. I think it should have been a jump ball. Frankly, I don't know what your thought on it was, Bob. Tough to tell from our angle. They do give the foul to Ryan Butt.
But a very aggressive inside defender and physical enough to stay with Sheftic.
That is number 3 on Butt. So Sheftic to the stripe, and he hits it.
Coppenrath really needs to get involved for Vermont right now. They tried to get him the ball twice early. Did not come up with anything there. Kevin Garner comes in as a post player. But Taylor Coppenrath averaging 20 a game. Pretty invisible in this game because of foul trouble in the first half and hasn't been able to get it going here in the second half.
Sheftic hits them both. Vermont up by 3.
The time has finally come for us to see who's number 1. Get out on the floor. It's alright to dance. We gon' crown the champion right here on ESPN.
All right, Reese, thanks a lot. Here it is Vermont up by 3. Boston University cutting into this one thanks in large part to Paul Seymour, Bob.
No doubt about that. Seymour has 16 points. He is a senior. 6 of 8 from the field. The rest of the team not doing very well. His grandfather, Paul, played in the NBA for years and years and years and won a championship with the Syracuse Nationals. He's proud of his grandson today.
Uncle was a tight end for the Chargers and the Rams, so a very athletic family. Turner missing the 3. The downside for BU is the rest of the starters, the other 4 guys, have combined for just 8 points, so they need someone else to step it up here, Bob.
And that is uncommon for them. They're really a balanced team. They don't usually rely on one particular guy. But in this game, you got to go what's hot is hot.
Coppenrath trying to get hot. He will go to the stripe.
He really puts the ball on the floor well for a guy 6'9". Got good, quick first step.
Don't forget, a full day of college basketball just getting underway here on ESPN and ESPN2. Later today, it's semifinal action for the ACC. Following us, 1:30 Eastern Time, NC State and Wake. On ESPN2, 2 Eastern, semifinal action from the Phillips 66 Big 12 tournament, starting with Kansas and Mizzou. As Coppenrath misses the first free throw, Bell picked up that foul, number 2 on Rashad Bell. You talked about the balance for BU, no real go-to guy. As Coppenrath hits the second one, 10 players average more than 7 minutes per game, 7 guys more than 7 points per game. So it's surprising to see them having so many guys go dry at one time.
Exactly, and that's a coach's nightmare when you use that kind of style. Usually that kind of thing does not happen.
A 3-on-1 here. They're unable to convert it, though, as the freshman Gardner misses the layup there.
Lucky play for Vermont right there. That was an easy 2, which would bring this house down. They are just waiting to erupt. Good plays for the Terriers.
Sheftic, very meticulous, and gets it to go.
He is having the game of a career right now. This guy is so strong. He moves methodically, but watch the moves. Good pump fakes, goes right through the arm of the defender, and not only makes it, but gets fouled at the same time. This is great strength right here. Gardner not strong enough to play with Matt Sheftic.
I think methodical is a better word than the one I use. Sheftic.
A lot of iron on that one.
3-point play. Jazz Carr.
He can go.
Grochowalski. Four points now for Grochowalski.
Speaking of family genes, his dad was a great player for Assumption College, small school here in New England.
Now Taylor Coppenrath getting going. 7 points for Coppenrath.
Showing his ability to play facing the basket, with Sheftic as a back-to-the-basket guy and Coppenrath as a facing 6'9" player. Formidable front line for the Catamounts.
Seymour back in there after a brief rest, and this time misses. And throwing an elbow is Matt Sheftic.
A lot of guys on the ground after that particular play. Anderson also fell down. Bell talking to Dennis Wolf. Dennis Wolf also has a daughter who plays at the University of Connecticut. She was injured this year. Nicole was the player of the year in high school, coming out of high school, playing for the Huskies.
One of the prized recruits in the country. As he said, out for the year. Now Bell dumps it down low. Grochowalski has it blocked beautifully by Grant Anderson. All the little things.
Amen.
And now Bell commits a foul on the other end.
Well, that's the lineup, and that's the matchup that we were talking about earlier in the game. Frustration on the part of Wolf. Right here, Anderson comes from the weak side and jumps past Grochowalski, but still gets it. Athletic play. Very, very good athlete.
Taylor Coppenrath going to go to the line. That's 3 on Rashad Bell. Coppenrath from tiny West Barnet, Vermont, a place that's so small that Brennan likes to joke it goes from being a town to a village when his family comes watch him play.
Well, that doesn't mean he can't play. Small towns have produced lots of good players. This guy has the physical prowess. His numbers today. He's a good athlete, strong. Scotty Jones comes in to replace Sheftic, who gets a great hand from his supporters here.
Brennan said the nice thing about recruiting Catamounts, he didn't have to go through any agents or AAU guys. Aren't many of those in West Barnet, Vermont. So after BU had cut it to 1, it's now a 7-point lead again for the Catamounts.
Catamounts, you got to give them a lot of credit with their defense. They don't extend much, but keep their man in front of them. They make you shoot over them. And they do a good job of doubling inside when the ball goes there.
Bell. Crowd wanted a foul. They don't get the call. Now Hehn, a little off balance, didn't quite know what he wanted to do with it, and ends up missing.
Way too far out. He jumped from about 12 feet, needed an extra dribble. Trying to get the ball to Bell inside or Seymour facing up. Bell has some quickness. He can go facing.
He just flat out threw it away. So the Catamounts are trying to build on the 7-point lead.
Right guy, no double team. You don't double team him in there, and he's going to get to the free throw line. Catamounts shoots 75% from the charity stripe. Watch him here moving without the basketball. He gets a screen, and then watch him back up into the paint right here. Nobody doubles. He gets to dribble the ball several times. And you can't do that against a good post player. He needs to be double teamed.
Catamounts 5 of 6 from the stripe on the game, make it 5 of 7.
The other post player, Sheftic, cheering on when they are in there together. The good thing about Sheftic being on the bench, he's getting some rest. See the free throw numbers more frequent for Vermont. But Sheftic getting a rest while Catamounts takes over a little bit. He'll be rested and come back with his big body inside. He can wear opponents down.
The foul was on Grochowalski, who got the rebound. Catamounts uncharacteristically missing both of the free throws. It's a second foul on Grochowalski.
Well, BU made a run when Seymour was hot. Since that time, the game's kind of grinded down a little bit. Fitzgerald in the game, who is not a scorer.
Now Chaz Carr trying to run Seymour off the screen. Instead, Carr shoots it, and Anderson rebounds.
BU not getting much inside. They normally execute their offense well, get some layups.
Catamounts for 3. And Butt comes out of there for BU.
Catamounts looks a little fatigued to me. His shot, both free throws he missed, sweating hard right now.
Grochowalski, nice up and under. That's something Tom Brennan has talked about. He said he needs to be in a little bit better shape. He's a guy who redshirted his freshman year to get more physically capable of playing at this level, and he does wear down a little bit. Under 10 on the shot clock now. Anderson. Less than 5 on the shot clock. It goes out of bounds. It's a turnover, and it's going to go to the Terriers. So some good half-court defense for BU. And Chaz Carr and company trying to hang around. 43-38. Tom Brennan's crew on top here in Boston. Well, back here in Schroeder Massimino's alma mater, Vermont on top 43-38. In fact, Tom Brennan was an assistant for Massimino at Villanova in the 1970s. Championship week presented by 7-Up, the America East Championship between Vermont and Boston University at the Case Gym in Boston, Mass. Dave Revson and Bob Wenzel with you.
Well, what we're seeing is the ability of Vermont to dominate the inside, Dave, and BU is trying to make a run. The senior Seymour doing a great job, and Grochowalski making another three. He had 22 in the last game in the semifinals, only 6 until that point. He is heating up, and they need it badly.
Well, he can go hot and cold. It had no points in the previous game in the quarterfinals, then 22 in the semis, 9 points in this one, and again, it's a 2-point game.
Zone defense, only the second time employed by Dennis Wolf in this game. I think probably a pretty good thing to do. Not a lot of outside shooting on the part of the Catamounts.
Jones double team down low. Buck blocks it from behind. Collins scrambling for it. It's going to stay with Vermont.
You talked about the depth of this team, Dave, and Grochowalski stepping up big time right now. Very comfortable at the top of the key. Seymour stepped up a little bit a while ago for Dennis Wolf. Those are the kind of things that have to happen when you're using a lot of different players. Sheftic back in, he and Coppenrath at the same time can spell trouble. A formidable tandem inside. Sheftic 6'8", 260, Coppenrath 6'9", about 230. That is big for this level of play.
That would make the team want to shoot it from the outside, something BU is doing very well. 44% from behind the arc, 27% for the Catamounts.
Well, the Catamounts took 2 threes in the first half. In the 2 games they played this year, they've only taken 8 threes in both games.
Sheftic gets the roll.
That's where they want to go. Nice big smile on the part of the junior center. He mentions he's an Army ROTC guy. Did some Army airborne training at Fort Benning, Georgia over the summer.
But trying to answer it, he too gets the roll. What goes around comes around, Bob.
Friendly rims in your home court. Versatility right here of Grant Anderson. A point forward.
Hehn well off the mark with that three. And it's going to go to the Terriers with a chance to tie with a 2 or take the lead with a 3.
Well, the faithful getting ready right here. Tom Brennan trying to encourage his guys. Critical juncture of the game. The fans into it for the most part right now.
Buck gets double teamed. That leaves the lane wide open for Fitzgerald. And the foul goes against Sheftic.
I do not know why you would double team Butt when he's that far away from the basket.
Later today, Championship Week presented by 7-Up, continuing 2 more championship games on ESPN. 6 Eastern, the A-10 crowning its champion. Temple trying to get into the tourney with a great late season run. Then late Eastern, catch the Conagra Foods Big East Championship. UConn and Pittsburgh. It's Championship Week presented by 7-Up, ESPN, and ESPN2 as Kevin Fitzgerald hits the first free throw. First point for him, and it pulls BU to within 1.
Connecticut wants to go to Boston for the first round, and if they win the Big East Championship, that first round site might be available to them. Big incentive.
Their fans travel extremely well, as has been evidenced at Madison Square Garden. All of a sudden, BU back in this thing. They've tied it up at 45. It's the first tie since it was 2-2. Gila loses the ball. Turner out of there with it.
Press effective for the first time. Turnover in the front court.
And the Terriers look to take their first lead since the first basket of the game. But up and under move.
A foul under the basket. After the basket was made, Butt made a terrific move. The kind Sheftic has been making all day long. Watch this. Butt one-on-one. Ball fake. Get the defense off your feet. And then go inside right here.
A little push right there for Butt. That's a good call. Well, that kind of takes away that momentum. I mean, they really had this crowd into it for the first time.
Joe Mingo, right there, the official talking with Dennis Wolf. 29 years an official. This is his last game. He told me he'll be retiring after this one.
So Papenrath goes to the stripe and misses the free throw.
His third miss in a row. Not having a great day as the sophomore.
It's a technical foul. It's actually on Grochowalski. You want to make sure we get the right person there. Let's take a look at it again.
Under the basket, watch number 24 in white right here. He was jawing the last time down.
Now, Butt had a push too, but they end up giving the technical to Grochowalski.
Vermont did not take advantage of a great situation. Papenrath missing free throws.
Has missed 4 in a row now, Bob. The near turnover. Gila.
Oh my goodness.
What a big three.
Oh my goodness. Talk about a momentum deflating play. Gila really developing. Tom said he's the most improved player on their team.
Got a dozen in the room. 1 shy of his career high. Collins.
Anderson pushed. Collins has been virtually invisible in this game. This guy was the MVP last year of the America East Tournament. He does a lot of everything, and so far not scoring enough for Dennis Wolf.
Played in the championship game with a broken wrist last year and played extremely well. It's Vermont, though, lighting it up from three-point range. Jermaine Gila giving them the lead again. A seesaw battle in Boston. Barn burner there, Reese. A barn burner here as well. BU looking to dance again. And providing some promos for us, too. Should work for the promo department. NC State and Wake is next, but we've got a great one here in Boston. Boston University has battled back. They are down 1 to the Catamounts.
What you would expect from a number 1 and 2 seed in the same conference. BU the number 1 seed, Vermont the number 2 seed.
Turner. Anderson, another rebound.
The value of defensive rebounding. Very few second shots for BU in this game at all.
You look at the shooting difference there, Bob, and it is startling.
Dramatic difference from first to second half. That's why BU was back in it when they were down 14 and 8 at halftime. And that guy inside was what hurt them badly in the first half. Relatively silent in this 20 minutes, but a long time to go. Sheftic.
He now has 19, 3 shy of his career high. Anderson doing a great job on the boards. He has 11 rebounds for them. Now Grochowalski hits the pull-up. Again, the pressure from BU. Remember, Vermont playing without its point guard, TJ Sorrentine, last year's Conference Player of the Year, out for the season with broken bones in his wrists. Down under 10 on the shot clock now. Sheftic on the high post. They want him to get down low. Coppenrath forced to launch the long three. Collins does a nice job letting it go out of bounds.
Solid defense that time on the part of BU. A lot of people think that Sorrentine would have made this team much, much better, and that is he. Very much like Ernie DiGregorio, the famous Providence player. Fancy, the 2002 Player of the Year. Little guy, makes them motor, has been out the entire season. He will be back next year, redshirting, and he and Coppenrath will play them.
He led them in scoring, three-point percentage, free throw percentage, assists, and steals last year. Honorable mention All-America. Going to the hoop and drawing the foul is Chaz Carr, and he'll shoot a couple. And if that is on Sheftic, that would be number 4.
Dilemma time for Tom Brennan. What do you do with 5:47 to go? Leave him in and let him maintain. See if he's intelligent enough to not foul again. That's what I would do at this juncture. You take him out and you get behind. He's not the type of player that's going to bring you from behind. So it looks like Brennan will leave him, especially since he's been their best offensive option inside.
And they've been waiting 103 years. They're going to go for the gusto here, Bob. You don't hold back.
Good point.
Keep him in there.
Good point. And the other thing is, if he goes out, they still have Taylor Coppenrath inside as a very good option, the Player of the Year in the league. Full court pressure has been effective. It's gotten Vermont out of rhythm. They are well educated against it. Nice ball movement, but it takes off some time. And now when they're up here, they've got to get into it quickly. They're playing against zone. They're seeing a press back into zone on the part of BU.
Now they nearly throw it away, trying to get it to Sheftic. Again, the shot clock approaching 10.
They are not good in this situation.
Gila. Nice feed for Anderson, misses, but Sheftic does not.
Right place, right time for Vermont.
21 for Matt Sheftic.
Seymour being pressured right here by Jermaine. He knows that Seymour wants to look.
Grochowalski can't get the roll. Bell the rebound hoop. First score of the second half for Rashad Bell.
Well, he is their leading scorer, and he's been absent for much of this game. Grochowalski really taking things into his hands. Not afraid to launch.
Coppenrath. Good defense by Grochowalski to cut him off. Gila gonna try another one. No, way off the mark for him.
They've got numbers, 3-on-2.
Unable to take advantage, not a great pass. Seymour does a good job to bring it down. Now Carr. The high board kept alive by Grochowalski. And they're gonna give it to the Catamounts.
Well, Billy Collins got knocked to the ground by Anderson on the block out. BU wants the ball. That's not gonna happen. When you are 6'8" and 260, you position yourself on the weak side. Nothing anybody can do about it when you're there. He knows the geography of the lane, this young man.
There you see the numbers for Sheftic, but keep in mind the 4 fouls.
I think it's wise for Brennan to leave him in here, Dave.
Well, you've got to. I can't imagine taking him out at this juncture. This school has been waiting so long for this day, and now it comes down to 4 minutes in a tie ball game. Sheftic.
Are you kidding me?
A new career high, and it could not have come at a better time. 23 for the big guy, the native of Essex Junction, Vermont.
He has legs the size of oak trees, and he can move them. They're not planted.
Seymour brings it back out top. 5 on the shot clock. Butt can shoot the 3. Oh!
Where were these guys in the first half?
What a ball game. 55-54 BU. Catamounts. Little high-low, Catamounts cannot haul it in. They turn it over.
BU's three-point shooting great in the second half.
They are 8 of 19 for the game behind the arc. Boston University on top 55-54. We're going down to the wire at Boston. Championship week hitting the crescendo. All right, guys, we are back in Boston. Great ball game. Boston University on top of Vermont, 55-54. The home fans really getting into it. This place is rocking literally.
The floor started going up and down with their jumping. Vermont still 26-16 inside points, but BU countering 8 of 19 from the arc. Three-point shooting versus inside game in this one.
Exactly how we expected it to go. But hit one earlier, hesitated on that one, and then nearly threw it away. Collins, though. We're down to 5 on the shot clock. We'll see if Seymour knows it. He knows it. He can't do much about it, though. Off balance and off rim. And Tom Brennan wants to talk things over. We're going to take a break here. Tom Brennan trying to do something no Vermont coach has ever done. Lead his team to the NCAA tournament. Less than 2 minutes away from finding out whether they get there. Salon race here, championship week, presented by 7-Up, giving us a barn burner. It's a 1-point lead for Boston University. Vermont with the basketball.
Endgame situations, you rely on experience. Both of these teams with plenty of that. BU has taken to using a 2-3 zone, which has been very effective in the last few minutes.
The near steal by Chaz Carr.
Vermont not a three-point shooting team. They're still going to try to get it inside against the zone.
Sheftic playing with those 4 fouls. Double teamed, and Ryan Butt takes it away.
Dennis Wolf smart and staying in the zone. Very, very effective. Vermont will stay man-to-man. Try to limit BU to 1 shot. Grochowalski's been the guy that's been hot lately.
Chaz Carr throws it up off the back of the backboard, but they're going to say it was deflected by the Catamounts, so it's going to stay with the Terriers. Don't forget, Championship Week presented by 7-Up continues. 2 more championship games on ESPN. 6 Eastern, the Atlantic 10. Temple taking on Dayton. And then at 8 Eastern time, the Conagra Foods Big East Championship. UConn against Pittsburgh. It's Championship Week presented by 7-Up on ESPN and ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
Well, Tom Brennan very upset. He thinks that they should have had possession of that basketball on Chaz Carr's drive. But it's not going to go his way on this particular play. Tough situation, end game right now. A lot can still happen. Minute and 31 to go. BU 1-point lead. And right now, they will have the basketball. Right here, Chaz Carr drives sideline against the 6'5" guard. Brennan felt that the ball was hit. Obviously, it was a good decision because Hehn blocked the shot, so it hit the side of the backboard off Hehn. BU's zone has been very effective in the last several minutes in limiting Vermont.
To the turnover. A full day of college basketball continuing on ESPN and ESPN2. As soon as we're done, semifinal action for the ACC. It's at 1:30 Eastern here on ESPN, NC State and Wake. And on ESPN2, 2 Eastern semis for the Phillips 66 Big 12 tourney kicking off as Kansas takes on Mizzou, Texas Tech, Oklahoma. The other semifinal there, Championship Week, presented by 7-Up.
Well, right now, there's no one particular guy that BU goes to. Butt has played well, and he wants it again.
And they called the offensive foul on Ryan Butt. He went right at Sheftic and ended up charging into Coppenrath.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's 4 now on Ryan Butt.
Well, Coppenrath came from the weak side and pulled what might be the best play of the game right here from the defensive side of things.
Again, the pressure. Vermont gets it across.
Let's see if Vermont can get an outside shot right here. Hehn made one late at home to seal a victory against BU. He's the likely guy from deep.
Coppenrath not there for the player of the year, and Chaz Carr the rebound.
Coppenrath legs not with him right now. Not a good shot by the player of the year. Legs not under him late in the game, taking a 3.
Seymour has had a great second half. Nearly loses it, and he traveled. It's going back to Vermont.
You talk about tension mounting. Players excited. Coaches is pulling their hair out. This is what it's all about. Championship week going down to the wire. NCAA bid 33 seconds away for one of these teams.
We'll see if they can get it inside to Sheftic. Tom Brennan going to discuss a little strategy with his team. And obviously, Sheftic's a guy who's going to be on his mind. We'll let you know what happens. What a great ball game here in Boston. The tourney bid on the line. We'll come back, let you know who's going dancing when we return. Boston to the double.
That's it. Here it is.
Back in Boston, the Terriers on top by 1. It's Vermont basketball as we take a look at our reset box.
Well, Vermont will be shooting 2 on any common foul. Both teams with plenty of timeouts left. Possession arrow, which is very important in situations like this, in favor of Vermont. Home court in favor of BU.
Good contingent, though, from Vermont. They brought about 700 fans here to this gym, which seats right around 2,000.
Drama. All of these guys want to go to the NCAA tournament. That man has been a horse for his team today.
Obviously, this is the guy they're going to try to get it to. The question is, how about it?
It's very difficult in zone situation. Looks like BU going to go man-to-man. The zone's been successful. They don't want to give up anything easy here.
Perhaps the biggest possession in the history of Vermont Catamount basketball. They have never been to the NCAA tournament. They're down 1, shot clock at 10. Hehn trying to create, working on Carr. Hehn spinning, hitting! Chaz Carr. Boston University wants a timeout, less than 3 seconds to go. What a huge shot by David Hehn.
I told you David Hehn made a 3 when Vermont beat BU at Vermont earlier this year, sealed the victory. He took this one as the clock was winding down and made a very, very difficult shot. David Hehn handles his basketball. Watch the shot clock on your left. This is a fadeaway jumper with 3 left. Big time play by a 6'5" guard. Notice the difference in size with he and Carr. That's why he's able to get this shot off. The value of a 6'5" point guard. You think Brennan likes it? He's going to get some sweat on that Armani suit.
Brand new suit he got just for the occasion. The native of Sarnia, Ontario, David Hehn, coming up big, but now they need the defensive stance. Right here, and a good, tough defensive moment right here in the half court in order to get that first ever bid to the NCAA tournament. NC State and Wake Forest ACC semis next. If you're BU, who do you look for?
Well, it's not a question of who you look for. You got to look at how the team size up. There's a timeout here because of the alignment that Tom Brennan saw Dennis Wolf's team in. In a situation, calling timeout with 2.9 seconds to go is a very, very tough thing to do. Lots of times, you can make the play easier while the clock is still running in transition. Wolf did not decide to do that, so they need to inbound the ball successfully, and whoever catches it, they're not going to have time to make a pass. They're going to need a dribble and a shot. Hopefully, they can take the ball strong to the basket for them to try to draw a foul.
The nice thing about being balanced, as we've talked about, Boston University is very balanced. They have a lot of different offensive options.
Well, Grochowalski is the guy who's been hot. Seymour also has been hot from the perimeter.
A lot of concern on the faces of the Boston University faithful. Vermont had never had a 20-win season before last year. They've now done it 2 years in a row. And looking to get to the postseason for the first time ever. It comes down to the final 3 seconds. Collins the inbound for BU. They get it into Carr. Not there! And for the first time in 103 years of basketball, the Vermont Catamounts are going to the NCAA tournament as Vermont comes into Boston and pulls off the upset.
Unbelievably happy group. Without Taylor Coppenrath having a great game, BU goes down on their own home court. Big time play by David Hehn late seals the victory. And a great, great game by Matt Sheftic.
An unlikely hero in David Hehn. Our final score once again, Vermont 56, Boston University 55. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Bob Wenzel, I'm Dave Remsen. Now back to Reese and Digger.
I am here. No, not yet. Okay. We need the coach. You know which one he is? He's got gray hair, pretty tall, nice suit. Nice suit. Okay. We're going to talk to the coach first, then we're going to talk to you.
Okay,
We'll all three, we'll all three stay here. We need the coach. We need Brennan. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. This is just tape. Here he comes. We want the coach in the middle.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Congratulations. Congratulations, Tom. 103 years. How does it feel?
Feels wonderful, Bobby. I won 8 games my first 2 years here, and they stayed with me. I've been nothing but treated great at Vermont, and all we wanted to do was give something back to those wonderful people in that state, and because of these guys, we were able to do it today.
Talk a little bit about what it means. You had Taylor Coppenrath with 2 fouls in the first half. Matt Sheftic came up big.
You know what, all year, even when we lost Sorrentine, it looked like we weren't going to be as productive as we might have thought. And then these other kids kept coming through, including Coppenrath. Today, he didn't have it going, especially in the second half, but Matt played great, and of course, Hehn shot was terrific to win it.
Tell me about the timeout and Hehn shot. They played zone previous to that, and they went man-to-man.
Yeah, whenever we put Sullivan in the game, they would go back to man, and we felt we put him in because we would rather have him playing man, because we thought we could isolate Matt down low. But my boy turned the corner, thought he was Tiny Archibald, and threw one in.
Tell me a little bit about how this feels for you going to the NCAA tournament. You're a very experienced coach. You've been coaching seems like forever. Tell me how meaningful this is for you.
Well, it's indescribable, but the reality is good things happen to good people, I like to think. We hung around a long time, and we were able to get it done finally.
Congratulations. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Mr. Sheftic, congratulations on a great game.
Thank you very much.
How are you feeling about now?
I'm feeling great. You know, we've been dreaming of this ever since the season began, ever since we lost to Maine last year, and to come out and win this right now, it just feels so great.
Tell me a little bit about when Taylor went out and you had to take over in the first half offensively. Do you feel that on your shoulders?
A little bit, but we got great players in our team, and Tay's carried us on his back all season. I just tried to make some big shots and get some key rebounds down the stretch. Grant came out and Gila came out in the first half and played tremendous and picked us up right from the start, and I tried to do what I could down the stretch.
There was a time during the season where you guys lost 6 in a row. Tell me how you guys stayed together during that juncture.
Well, I really think that says something about our team. We're a great team. We're all best friends, and we just picked each other up. And down the stretch, we picked it up and won as many games as we could.
What does it mean to you knowing that next week on Sunday your name is going to be announced and you're going to go to the NCAA tournament?
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's been a dream ever since I was a little kid. Ever since I picked up a basketball, started watching NCAA. Just feels, it's undescribable right now.
Congratulations. You played an awesome game today.
You.
Take care. We need to do more? Okay, so you don't need me, right? I'm done. You're going to talk. Is he going to talk to studio? He needs an IFB and stick mic. You're going to talk directly to the studio guys. Okay, Digger and he can use this. Coach, where's our guy?
All right, I can call you, all right? Yep.
He's with me.
Stick with him, okay?
Okay.
Tommy,
I
gotta
just need to get somebody to put
Good
something
luck.
in your ear.
Thank you.
Confirm that. I need an A2. How about headsets? Okay, stand by, play-by-play headset.
I do. I hear the Jags. I can, Jim. Who will be? Okay, thank you.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes. I'm wonderful, David. How are you? Thank you very much. 18. Maybe it's 17. I don't know, but it's more than 16. 17, yes, right. Just finished. Well, it's not finished yet. Okay, well, we lost. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, it feels wonderful. Obviously, I'm so proud. We have a very unique state. We have a very unique university, and I'm just proud for the people in Vermont. As I said before, my first 2 years, I won 8 games, and nobody called for my head, and nobody wrote letters. Everybody was just real supportive, and I'm just blessed that I had a 17-year window of success that I was able to operate within. Well, we just, we knew what they did, and they're a great team, and they're very deep, and they've been very successful here. But I think we were kind of destined today. Sheftic played great all day. Copperrath didn't really have a big game, but we just told them to keep, stay the course, play good, solid defense, and when that ball went up and hit the top, I was just the happiest guy in the world. Well, it's your job. That's what you're supposed to do. And obviously we don't, we only have 10 scholarships, and we're not a basketball school per se, but we've been very blessed in the last couple of years. We've had the team league MVP last year, and we have the league MVP this year. So when you got good players, you always got a chance to win, and I got good players. Yes, we do. And and we're thrilled. We're thrilled to be a part of that big party. We'll have a big celebration ourselves back in Burlington. I would think the conga line will begin about 5 o'clock this evening on Church Street, and I'll be at the head of the parade. Well, I'm probably not going to be back in Burlington until about Wednesday myself because this is a very celebratory time for me. I got a lot of old friends who always stuck by me, and I want to go by and see all of them. But I think our kids will be ready. We know what we got to do. We know what we're up against, obviously. And as I said, we're just thrilled to be going. We don't care who we play. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, Coach.
Please focus your attention on the awards area at center court. We have Chris Monash, who will present the 2030 American Youth Basketball Championship Awards. Will the 2030 American Youth Champions please come forward and raise the flag to receive the awards? First,